Hi, and welcome to our presentation today regarding cultural identity within ABA services. My name is Mackenzie Quick/Jacobson, and I'm an RBT. Today, I'll be training my husband, who is sitting in as an interim RBT for this presentation. All right. So let's get started here. Let's talk about our agenda for this presentation. We're going to start by talking about why cultural identity is important within ABA services. After we do that, we'll discuss the cultural identity map that will be provided to you later. This is going to be an interactive activity that you can fill out during the presentation or post-presentation. Next, we're going to talk about how to fill out that activity, how to complete that identity map, and what happens once you've completed that identity map. Next, after that, we're going to do a post-presentation quiz. It's going to be 5 questions total. And then lastly, we have our conclusion, just a summary of our points, including some resources for continued learning. Lastly, we have our learning objective here. By the end of this presentation, Tyler will have the skills to complete a cultural identity map for his own personal culture, and he will be able to understand the importance of cultural identity in services. All right, so let's talk about the impact of your cultural identity specifically within your direct care services. So you're going to improve client-provider relationships. So when we create an environment where we're actively incorporating our own personal cultural identity into our services, we create an environment where we feel safe, acknowledged, and understood, which creates more opportunities for us to focus on our client and create those genuine interactions and create that rapport and trust. Next, we have it improves confidence in program and implementation. So when we create an environment that is culturally responsive for our staff, it gives them more of an opportunity to put their focus on their actual programming and improving their skills overall. Next, we've got within supervision. So this is going to build trust and rapport with your supervisor, who is the BCBA, and the supervisee. By having an open conversation about your cultural identity and your personal beliefs and values, your BCBA can take that and incorporate that into how they communicate with you via feedback or throughout assignments. Next down here, this is going to improve that overall effectiveness of supervision activities. Going back to assignments, your BCBA or supervisor can make sure that the assignments that they are providing you are culturally responsive and also don't push any boundaries and that would test your cultural beliefs and values. Lastly, we have within yourself. So by acknowledging our own cultural identity, we're going to foster an environment that creates supports and helps us be resilient in services. So when we have an environment where we feel safe and we can ask questions and we can get support as we need it, we're more likely to get back up. We're more likely to be motivated to complete our duties within our job. Next is understanding your own cultural identity can also help identify barriers and strengths within services. So when you understand and map out your own cultural identity, it can help you identify what is important to you within your services and what's a barrier and what is a perceived strength that you might have that you could bring into a client-provider relationship. All right, any questions before we move on to our cultural identity map?
No questions.
Beautiful. So this is our cultural identity map. I'm going to hand you this copy here. Your copy has a blank spot, the little pink blob there that says preferred name. If you want to right now, you can go ahead and put your preferred name in there, but that is what your supervisor would be calling you on feedback forms or within supervisory conversations. All right, so let's talk about what this is. So this is a mind map, and it's going to help individuals conceptualize their own personal culture through guided writing prompts. These prompts are going to be geared towards social, economic, educational, and ethnically pertinent information. So any culturally important information about you that you would like for us to know, it's going to go in here through these guided prompts. When we fill this out, we're identifying values and culture and social habits that stem from your own personal beliefs and ideologies. And when we do that, this is going to just create more opportunities for informed services that benefit providers and the clients, you being the provider. Questions about what this mind map is and its purpose?
No questions.
No questions. Love it. So let's get into how to fill it out. How do we map it out? Step 1, you're going to write your preferred name in the middle of the map in that blank space provided to you. Next step, you're going to choose an arrow that stems out from the middle, following that arrow to the first cultural topic of your choosing. So may I use this for an example?
Okay.
So we have our first preferred name here in the middle. You're going to choose an arrow. You're going to follow that arrow to the next culturally relevant topic. Okay? For step 3, You're going to follow the second arrow from your chosen cultural topic to the given writing prompt. So if our chosen cultural topic is political identity, we're going to follow the next arrow to political identity, and it gives you a little box for you to write down your political beliefs and your political identity. Next, you're going to complete that writing prompt with accurate information regarding your cultural identity. And then for step 5, you're just going to continue to repeat this process until all of the boxes that you feel comfortable filling in are filled in. However, it is important to note that we only want you to provide information that you feel comfortable sharing. We're not requiring you to provide any additional information outside of this, but if you feel comfortable doing that, you may. If there is a cultural topic that you do not wish to share any information about, just please put NA on the sheet and we will know that this is an unavailable topic for us. Questions on the steps to fill this out?
No questions.
Lovely. All right, so in theory, we filled it out. Now what happens? So once you've completely filled this out, you're just going to hand this over to your supervisor and they're going to review it, take note of it, and then start incorporating your values and cultural identity into your services. Examples of this active incorporation of cultural identity into services could be updated pronouns. Another example would be changes in social habits or greetings. So if you choose not to shake hands or make direct eye contact upon greeting as a respect thing, then that can be updated and be noted within your supervisory relationship. And then lastly here, adjustments to programming and staffing. So if you have a barrier within your cultural beliefs that you can only work with a certain type of client, that can be noted within your file and that update can be made within your supervisory relationship with your BCBA. Do we have any questions thus far about our presentation today?
No questions.
I love it.
Looks like you got some questions for me, though.
I do have lots of questions for you. So let's get started with our pop quiz. So question 1 here. Name one impact that incorporating culturally informed practices can make within services.
Improve relationships.
Yes, very, very nice. That's a great answer. Yeah, so improve client-provider relationships. Another one would be improve confidence in program implementation. Perfect. All right, question 2. Name one impact that incorporating culturally informed practices can make within staff.
Understanding barriers and strengths.
Yes, perfect. So when we understand our own cultural identity, we can help ourselves identify barriers and strengths within our services. Very, very nice. All right, next is, what is the main function of a cultural identity map?
Like identifying culture through writing prompts.
Yeah, pretty much. Helping conceptualize personal culture through guided writing prompts geared towards social, economic, educational, and ethnically pertinent information. Really good. Question 4, true or false? You must provide information for all the writing prompts in the map. This ensures clear communication.
False.
Yes, it is false. Very, very nice. We only want you to share what you feel most comfortable with. And if you don't feel comfortable, what can we say? NA. Perfect. Question 5. List 2 examples of personal cultural identity being incorporated into services.
Updated pronouns and adjustments to kind of like your training.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Updated pronouns, perfect. Changes in social habits or greetings, so no handshakes, no direct eye contact. And adjustments to programming or staffing can be made. Yes, perfect. Great. Something tells me you were playing along. You were paying attention. Nice work. Give you a little confetti. All right, perfect job. So in conclusion, the cultural identity of clients and providers impacts the overall quality of service delivery through identifying strengths and barriers. Expressing your cultural identity can lead to mutual respect and improve client-provider relations. A cultural identity map is a useful tool in helping individuals embody their personal cultural identity. Questions, comments, concerns before we end our presentation today?
No, this is great.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
All right, so if you're interested in continuing learning, I've got some resources here that provide a lot of information about how to provide culturally informed services within ABA.